Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to be asking the question, is Tower of Fantasy a very free-to-play friendly game? Let's go ahead and dig in. Now, I will say my initial impressions are the game is that it's very free-to-play friendly, and I think that was also my first impression of Genshin Impact when I played it, since these two games are quite often compared to each other. And I think what gives me that impression is that I don't feel pressured to buy things, and I don't feel like I'm limited on content because I'm not strong enough. And I think these are two factors that are really important when you consider if a game is free to play friendly, right? Are you able to play the game without feeling like you're hitting a paywall? And do you feel like you need to spend, right? Are you feeling like you're missing out? And I don't really feel like I'm missing out on anything. I feel like, as much as I've spent maybe like $25 or $30 myself, and I haven't felt the need to spend more. And as someone who literally spends thousands of dollars in a year on gacha games, this is a very interesting feeling for me where I feel like I don't need to, right? I play Ni no Kuni right now, and I spend easily $100 every couple weeks on it. And, I've spent quite famously over $16,000 on War of the Visions, and this game just doesn't drive that in me. And I think there is a couple elements to that. I think being able to do the gameplay content without being power gated again is very important. But I also feel like the gating of the progression of the servers is really important as well, because you're not seeing, or you're not having this drive, right? This forward drive to grind, get as far as you can, get ahead of other people, right? Because everybody's hitting this same wall, right? Everybody's the same level. Nobody's going to be able to over level. You can still do everything that they can do. It's not going to be that much harder. And that's honestly been one of the better experiences for a gacha type game that I have had over the course of the last 3 years that I have been covering gacha games. And I honestly would be really happy if they implemented this type of leveling gating model in quite a few other gacha games. Now, I think where the game kind of gets you, and where it'll probably get you in the future, is that idea of FOMO, right? You don't want to be missing out. And I think there will be times where you do feel like you're missing out. I think Nemesis right now is a great example, right? Where people are saying Nemesis might not come back for a year, right? Nemesis isn't going to get added to the standard pool. And I don't know whether or not that's true or not. I haven't seen anything confirming or not confirming either way. But what I can tell you is I haven't felt like I've needed Nemesis. And in fact, I haven't felt like Nemesis was required for me to play the game. When you go to the special order screen, I have 45 golden poles. I have 80 dark poles right now, and that's literally just from 2 days of playing the game. And while that is from, accessing areas and opening up the different areas and getting all of the chests right now, because we are in a very, I would say, lush and bountiful portion of the game, I am consistently surprised to find new mechanics introduced into the game that are very generous with polls. And we're not only talking just about the pities, right? The fact that we have a pity at 80 for the gold nucleus is incredible. And not only do you have the pity at 80, you also have the pity currency that you get, which you can get dupes of the weapons with. So it's really an incredibly easy system. And then you have things introduced like the dream mechanics that just showed up a couple days ago. And oh my gosh, you can get 2 golden nucleus and 6 dark nucleus from that. I think I got 2 of them. That's like 4 poles and 12 black orb poles that you can get seemingly every week. There's just a lot of things that seem to be going in the direction of being successful and helpful for free to play. Now, when that goes away, I am kind of cautiously optimistic that it will kind of continue as potentially new areas unlock. But I think where we're going to struggle potentially is with the limited banners. And I think this is where kind of having the red orbs is a little problematic, and you have the dark cube currency, right? So I think as free to play, you're probably going to want to save your dark cubes for a red or banner that you're going to really want to get. And, you know, that can be a little frustrating, I think. I know for me, I plan on just really focusing on the gold banner and maybe even saving my dark cubes right now, because you're not really going to have, as far as I can tell, any other options to pull on these limited banners. So the FOMO is going to be really big. And I know the FOMO right now, particularly with Nemesis, you know, people are out there, content creators, saying Nemesis is the best thing since sliced bread. You know, you have to have her. She's so good. And I don't think that's necessarily true. She's pretty good. I think so. But I think if you fall for that FOMO, if you are someone who knows that they are susceptible to this type of stuff, then this game may be difficult for you to play as free to play, because you're going to feel like you are kind of constantly missing out on the latest and the greatest character. But then, you know, there are people who get dark crystals and hoard their dark crystals, and they have a lot of success doing that. So we'll have to kind of wait and see on that front. That's the only real wall that I'm seeing. I think you will run into PvP problems as well, but I think as free to play, it's unrealistic to expect that you can rank really, really high in PvP. I think Ni no Kuni kind of did it best, for those of you that are watching Ni no Kuni content with me, where like free to play, there's like a secondary bracket almost where free to play can rank within like the top like 1,000 or the top 3%. And a lot of free to play being able to rank there feels like a win, right? Because you're winning currency competitively as a free to play is great. That's wonderful. And it seems like there is that in this game, particularly with the matchmaking for one of the things that was going on right now, not the direct PvP, but the tower content. I didn't realize you got matched up in brackets of 100 with random people. So there is a potential that, you know, you're not going to be matching up against the same whales every single week. And you could easily, you know, take advantage of that and potentially place in order to get, you know, rewards and things like that. So I think there is some systems I can see in the game already. And of course, we haven't seen them all, where I'm like, okay, I could see this working. I could see this being both a benefit to free-to-play players as well as a benefit to whales, right? Because a lot of times whales just get crushed by the same whales over and over again. If you're able to set up different brackets and have people in these different brackets, all of a sudden a whale might be the strongest whale in a bracket, whereas maybe they're only top 1,000 on the server, and all of a sudden, hey, I feel pretty good. I ranked #1 this week, right? And you know, that stuff is great in games, and I love that type of balancing, and there is an element of getting lucky. So let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious if you guys think this will be free to play friendly, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.